New York City's newly appointed deputy mayors are nearing the end of their first week in office.
That's right. Deputy Mayor for Public Safety, Kaz Daughtry, finishing up his second week. But Deputy Mayor for Operations, Jeffrey Roth, Deputy Mayor for Health and Human Services, Suzanne Miles-Gustav, and Deputy Mayor for Housing, Economic Development, and Workforce, Adolfo Carrión, hit the ground running this week, and we're getting to know each of them up close and personal on the Pix More News. And right now, we are starting with Deputy Mayor Carrión, who is joining us this morning. So great to have you.
Good morning.
First week on the job. I appreciate you making this one of your first stops. So let's talk about it, right? Because you are no stranger to City Hall. You're a former member of the City Council. I guess the question is, when you look at the totality of everything, what made you want to come back to city government and, more importantly, join the Adams administration, which many would say was riddled with turmoil with folks leaving?
I'm excited to continue my work, and as you suggested, I know that building well. As a member of the City Council, I came there many times as Borough President of the Bronx to advocate on behalf of the 1.4 million New Yorkers who make that borough their home. And now we continue the work. We get the torch passed from the deputy mayors that left recently, all of whom I have great relationships with and I respect, and they pass a hot burning torch, a bright torch to us. We have made the largest investment in affordable housing in the city's history, nearly $25 billion over a 10-year period. The number of economic development projects that have been advanced that will create thousands of jobs, I pick up that mantle and continue. Yeah. And just to say, right near here, there's a health and education and health tech and sciences campus that will be developed by this administration. We're pushing that forward, and it will develop. It will create thousands of jobs here in New York City, and the 5 neighborhood plans that we're advancing will create thousands of units of affordable housing, jobs, retail. You're taking
all of our questions here. We've got a lot of questions about all the work. But I just want to get this out of the way. Did you have any reservations? Because you know this question's going to come your way. Any reservations about joining, given what the news is, the court case that's still pending with the mayor? Did you have any reservations?
So no reservation whatsoever, because it's about the work and stability and continuity of the work that we've started. This team of civil servants that were working together poured a foundation for the next phase of the work that we need to continue. And so I'm excited to continue that work. We're looking at expanding our economic development footprint at the Brooklyn Marine Terminal, Hunts Point Market, creating a blue highway on the water to get trucks off the street, making sure that ultimately we make New York City affordable for working families, the best place to raise a family anywhere in the United States.
We've spoken to you on so many different capacities. You had so many roles, including the former Commissioner for Housing and Urban Development. So we've talked to you about affordable housing, et cetera. But what do you say to the constituents out there? Like, what difference are you going to make? What, in your new role now, what's your vision?
So we have to continue our work to make sure that New York City is affordable for working families. So what New Yorkers can expect is tens of thousands of units of new housing, the preservation of existing housing, and we're talking about neighborhood plans that will generate thousands of units of housing in all the 5 boroughs. We recently passed the City of Yes for housing opportunity, economic opportunity, and environmental responsibility and sustainability. All of that work will create housing and create jobs, making it easier, for instance, for people to start a business in New York City, run a business in New York City, employ people. Part of my portfolio is the Department of Consumer and Worker Protection, both sides of the equation. Part of my portfolio is the Economic Development Corporation. So we're looking at how we reposition New York City to continue to be a global magnet for investment and tourism. And, you know, speaking of tourism, part of the portfolio is also arts and culture. And so, you know, New York is an attraction for all of these things, and we need to weave it all together into the future.
A lot of the affordability, and as you know, as the former Commissioner of Housing and Urban Development, a lot of the plans that you have rely on federal dollars to come your way, right? And there's a question of whether or not that money will come or won't come, right? So how do you envision working and with the mayor, along with the federal government, to make sure that you get the money that you need to make some of these projects a reality and keep them on the timeline that they're on.
Every American city, every state in the union is concerned about what's happening at the federal level.
Yeah.
But we can't take our eye off the ball here at the local level. We have to assume that we're going to continue all of the projects that we've started. We do rely on the federal government for a lot. But if the federal government disinvests, everything starts to, the fabric starts to tear. Not only in New York City, across the United States. And so our focus is make sure that we continue to ensure that New York City is affordable for working families. It's a place where you can get a good job, a secure job, and continue to be that attraction, you know, the global city. Investors from the world over have always looked at New York as a place of opportunity. When we can attract the best talent to do healthcare, technology, and innovation, financial technology and innovation, exploit in the best sense possible our position on the globe. We're New York Harbor. Freighters come from all over the globe and they enter New York Harbor, they unload here, and there's a food chain of jobs and tremendous economic potential that we need to exploit. That's going to be the focus of the administration.
That sounds great, but do you have a contingency plan, though, if the feds decide to pull that funding?
I think every municipality across the country is preparing for some cuts, and we will continue to push very hard our federal partners to ensure that they do not disinvest in American cities.
And just to, we're almost out of time. Just the city of Yes and the housing and affordable housing coming set to break ground this year. Still, that's the game plan.
So it's in effect.
Okay.
We've raised the ceiling to allow for more housing to be developed in every part of the city. And in addition to that, we have the specific neighborhood plans. We have the Manhattan plan for 100,000 units of housing in high-cost neighborhoods where they were inaccessible to
breaking ground.
Family. We're working on this and rolling it out.
Okay, it's only day 3. So
it's only day 3.
Only day 3 for you.
I'll be back.
We'll have you back if you'll come on back. Thank you for being here, Deputy
Thank
Mayor.
you.
Appreciate it.